the westernunion.com VIP lounge.
It's 106 KMEL, your girl Shay Diddy in here with the one and only Jermaine Dupri. What's going on?
What's up? How you doing?
I'm good. Good to see you back in the Bay.
Yeah.
When the last time you been out here?
I be out here all the time. You just don't know.
Why?
Because I be out here like, I created my own social network. So
yeah,
it's called Global 14. So I was out here. I actually stay at this place called The Factory. And it's like a place that's built for, it's not a hotel, it's a home that's built for, I guess, developing minds.
Developing minds? Is that where all the app geniuses are?
I mean, it's where I guess they're trying to put people together like myself and somebody else that might come up with something crazy at breakfast or whatever. It's just, I'm out here, I've been out here like a lot just in that space.
Are you going more into the tech space right now? Like,
no, I won't say more. I'm just in there. I'm just in that space. You know, I've been heavily in that space since MySpace actually. For a long time. So and I'm just probably one of the people that really understand it more than other people that's in the music industry. So I think that it kind of just like talks to me. So I'm just over there in it. And I got a game that I just came out with called Four Lanes. So
that game is hard, by the way.
It's a lot. It's not that hard. Somebody got 123 points yesterday.
What?
Yeah.
I suck. I get like 5 points. I do.
Yeah, it's not that hard. But yeah, so I mean, in that space, it just kind of it attracts itself to me. That's
what's up. Is there a new app that you're developing right now, a new game?
Well, another game that I'm coming out with another game, but I'm coming out with a second version of a new version of Four Lanes where you actually can play me, and you actually will. The camera on my phone will show my face. Will show me actually playing your game. So you send me if you send me a request, and I accept your request, the camera on my phone will film me actually playing your game, so you can see that.
Really?
And you see me actually playing you. So I'm sure people, like a lot of fans, they'll get a kick out of that.
So it's like a FaceTime, but with a video game at the same time.
Yeah, kind of like that.
So if you were playing Call of Duty, I could FaceTime you and talk mess to you at the same time?
Yeah, possibly.
Oh, that's hard. I do that.
Yeah. Oh, you a Call of Duty person?
I like to shoot things.
Oh, okay.
Unfortunately. I'm just saying.
Okay.
So you've been real busy. I see you working in the app field and you're still doing music.
Yes.
What's up with you and Bow Wow? I know you guys just dropped a record.
Well, yeah, I just dropped my new single. It's called Where You're At, and it's featuring Bow Wow.
Right.
The first time that I ever did a record where Bow Wow actually is a feature artist of mine.
Right.
I mean, feature artist on my record. I'm always producing his record, so he raps on something that I put him on, but this is my record, so.
Right. And what made you want to jump back into music again? I know you never really left it, but to start producing your own music again.
I think I owe it to the culture.
Yeah.
A lot of people look at me as a person that moved culture, and a lot of people look at me as a person that helped open the floodgates for Atlanta to be what Atlanta is today.
Right.
A lot of people hold me responsible for a lot of things, and with that being said, the only person that could stop me is me. So you know what I mean? I think I owe it to myself to just continue what I basically created, as opposed to just, you know, sometimes I've gotten into a mode where I'm just like a selfish producer.
Yeah.
And I just like being the producer that has all these hit records and not worry about me as an artist. But then I start hearing these voices where people saying, Jermaine, when you gonna put out a new record, or when you gonna do what you da-da-da-da. And when I hear it enough times, it makes me say I should do it.
He's like, forget it. I got something in my mind that I've been thinking about, so you're going to put it out for yourself.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. So do you think that we're going to get a SoSoDef reunion tour?
Probably not. I'm not really big into doing that old stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
What? Come on.
I mean, I did the show.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I did the concert, and I feel like everybody knows that I did my 20th anniversary concert. So, you know, people was like, I seen so many tweets about, JD, we hope we see SoSoDef 20 at BET next year. And it's crazy because everybody knows I did that already. They got that from me. They got that idea from me.
Right.
And I'm not really, I'm so much into being forward. I wouldn't choose to, I would hate being on the road performing all old music for like 2-3 months. It would kill me.
It probably would kill you. I understand that.
It would.
But for the fans,
Yeah, the fans. I mean, but for me, it was just like, it doesn't. I mean, I've always
Doesn't
been like
inspire
that.
you.
I always been a person that makes one artist and jumps from that artist to the next immediately. I think that's why I've been
Yeah.
able to create so many artists. I just
Right.
can't sit on that. I just can't sit in that space.
no, I completely understand you. And are you working on Bow Wow's current project?
Yeah, I mean, well, we focus on this right here because I feel like it's a lot of people and a lot of things that need to be awakened
Yeah.
with this one record. This record is him, and it's the first record that Bow Wow's been on as a solo artist,
Right.
in like 4 or 5 years. So it's just awakening his fan base
Yeah.
and making sure that they understand that he's back in my hands, and the music will be what they always wanted the music to be. And then same thing for my fans, on my side, the whole, I'm putting out music that they can dance to, so people can stop saying, money ain't a thing, even though you want to say money ain't a thing every time they see me. But
So what you're saying is y'all back to making triple platinum hits.
yeah, I mean, just putting out music. I just feel like it's my duty to put out music. That's what God put me out here for.
I completely understand. What did you give Bow Wow when you found out he got engaged? Did you send him a gift?
No.
Are you gonna get him something for his wedding?
I don't. Do you send people gifts for engagements?
You do. If
When you
if
get
there's someone
engaged?
close to you, you do
Really?
sometimes.
I
yeah.
have never got nobody an engagement gift. They probably are mad at me because I didn't know you get gifts for engagement. I thought
Really?
I thought you get wedding gifts, but engagement gifts, I don't know about that. You sure?
Well, I
Well, you
just
a
like
woman,
to give
so you
people
just say
things.
women.
Yeah.
Women probably be getting gifts, all kind of just purses and all kind of
Anything.
stuff all the time. Nah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, he's grown. I think that for me personally, it was cool because it makes you guys have to realize that he's older than what people actually think he is.
Right.
Like I made a statement the other day and went to Radio Room for
LA?
the BET Awards,
Yeah.
and people blew it all up. They took it all up out of proportion, but they don't really pay attention to what I'm saying when I say what I say.
I understood what you said.
But my point is that, like, Drake is the same age as Bow Wow.
Yeah.
So Drake just came out 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Bow Wow came out when he was 12.
Yeah.
So somebody was listening to somebody else. And y'all can say who you want, how you want to pick it.
I
And I'm
understand.
not just pointing
Yeah.
at him. I'm saying any artist that's out at this particular point in time.
Yeah.
Chris Brown, Kid Ink, all of these artists was listening to Bow Wow, or they was
Coming
watching
up.
him on 106 and Park.
Yeah.
It was no artist in the time that I put Bow Wow out on 106 and Park that ever had videos stay number one as long as Bow Wow.
Wow.
That's why he was named Mr. 106 and Park. So it was no artist.
Yeah.
I don't care how old you were, what you want to say, whatever it is. It was no artist that had a video stay on that channel as long as Bow Wow. So therefore, everybody that's out, that's 21 to 28 right now,
Yeah.
had to be paying attention to him.
Right.
And that fan base is, it's been some space in there. So it's time for me to make sure that they understand that,
Right.
and wake them up and make them understand that what was going on and what's about to go on.
Now I can just sit here and talk to you and just tell that you're a very intelligent person. You know what you're talking about. You know the music. Do you feel like when you speak that people are always trying to misconstrue your words? Or?
Yeah, 100%. But the other day when it happened,
Yeah.
I had a epiphany. Is that the word?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's what I had. I had epiphany where I had to stop and not be so mad about it and just remember that it's some people that's in this world that say things that people don't realize that they should pay attention to.
Yeah.
I'm that person. I'm not by single-handedly being that person, but I'm one of those people. I said 20 years ago that Atlanta was going to be what Atlanta is today.
Right.
And everybody reacted the same way they react to everything else I say now.
Right.
So, it's like you just gotta. I just feel like I know who I am and what I'm supposed to do.
Right.
I gotta say it. If they want to take it, how they want to take it, they'll see about it later in life.
Well, you've definitely been in the game and you're definitely a veteran. You know what you're talking about. I mean, Da Brat just celebrated 21 years of dropping her first album.
Yeah.
And Mariah Carey just celebrated 20 years from We Belong Together.
Yeah.
Did you guys do anything special for that, or like any dinners, conversations?
Nah, we probably should have, but no.
That would have been dope, like a little 20-year anniversary party or something like that.
It was 10 years, not 20. I'm sitting
Okay.
here thinking like, we belong together 20 years. Yeah,
Sorry, I'm
no,
old.
yeah, 10 years. No, we didn't. I think that, I think, like I said, I think that's partially my problem because I don't
You don't dwell on the past.
I don't dwell on the past. I like, you know what I mean? If it happens, it happens. Now,
Yeah.
sometimes I get in a funk with myself and I be mad because I don't celebrate a lot of my success.
Yeah.
But as big as the records are, it's very easy for you to get stuck in that place, and it's hard for people to get out. And I've seen that, and that's one of the things that I always feared in life of making music. Just like, don't get stuck in this. And when I first made Crisscross, Babyface told me
Yeah.
that Jump was a little record, and he was like, you know, yeah, you got that little record, and it's like. And he was like, but it's not successful till you could do it multiple times.
Yeah.
And when he said that to me, it kind of erased all my happiness about Jump.
Really?
Yeah, because it made me realize that that's how people actually look at you. Like, it don't matter how many records. Like, I've probably sold more records than every other producer and written, like,
Yeah.
between Usher and Mariah and just everything else.
Yeah.
But ultimately, people don't look at it like that.
Right.
People only remember what they last heard, right? So therefore, if you stuck in that and you trying to make people, remember how many records Confession sold?
Yeah.
People over here like, yeah, but what
are you doing now?
What's your Spotify number? Spotify wasn't even open when it came, So it's like,
Yeah.
like people don't celebrate with you.
Yeah.
So if you in that celebrating mindset, it'll stick you. You can get stuck. So I was always one that, from early age at 19, I just was like, I'm gonna do one, I'm gonna do another one, I'm gonna do one, I'm gonna do another one, I'm gonna do
Keep
one,
them
I'm gonna do
coming.
another one. Just keep it going. So that's basically, and that's the momentum of this project.
Right.
The records that you hear, you're gonna hear one, you're gonna hear another one, you're gonna hear another one, and it might be up to a point where it's like, damn, JD, like.
What is you doing?
But
Yeah.
it's just I feel like that's what I'm known to do.
Well, I'm definitely excited for this new project. Are you and Mariah working on this project, or are you going to get Usher, or?
No, it won't be the usual suspects.
It won't be.
Nah, it's definitely like I said, Bow Wow's never been a featured artist on my. Bow Wow wasn't on none of my albums.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be all artists that would never, I never made records with. Like last night, I
wow.
was with the kid, Wiz Kid. You hit
Wiz Khalifa?
No, Wiz Kid.
Oh, Wiz Kid. Okay,
Wiz Khalifa.
sorry.
No, Wiz Kid is like the equivalent to Chris Brown in Africa,
Oh, wow.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And I want him to be on my next single.
Okay.
So I was in the studio with him and Chris Brown last night.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just trying to do like that. Like I want a huge record in Africa. I do.
He's like, I'm going
I
overseas.
want to go. I'm saying.
I hear you.
And this kid, he's trying to, move in this space, but be from Africa.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's hard, and somebody has to give you that card to
little
cross
push.
that bridge, right? So I would love to be that person.
Okay. What other artists are you looking forward to working with right
Mark
now?
Anthony.
Has that happened yet for you? I heard that.
Huh?
Have you gotten to that yet?
I've talked to him about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was it a green light?
Nah, because Mark Anthony would love to be on KMEL, right?
Right.
I'm just saying, like, for real, you got to think about, like, a lot of these artists, they listen to these stations and they can't get their records played.
Yeah.
They love these stations. They love all of these radio stations that they can't get all of their music on.
Yeah.
But they got these other stations that play their records amazingly a million times, but they listen to a lot of these stations. So, that to me, that would be the genius part of being a producer, to figure out records that could get artists to be on different, stations and, genres of places that they don't actually get a chance to be in.
No,
They all love the music, like.
right. They
You know
just
what I mean?
can't get to
it's just,
it.
Yeah, you can't just like, it's hard to figure it out. And I've been one of the people that usually can figure it out.
No, I completely understand. And speaking of station plays and just drama, I saw something in the news where they said something about you saying that Mariah doesn't take her career seriously. And I didn't believe how they spun it. It was meant to be so negative. But my question to you is, when they do things like that, what is the conversation like? Like, did you and Mariah have a conversation after that?
Nah, but I think each one of the artists, they know me.
Yeah.
They know me a lot better than everybody in the world knows me.
Yeah.
And that question, the reason why, the funny part about this whole thing is same thing with the Bow Wow question.
Yeah.
Angela Lee asked me, why did I choose to put Bow Wow on my single?
Okay.
And I told her, out of all the young people in the world,
Yeah.
Bow Wow is the leader of the young people, right? And they took it and was like, JD tried to compare Bow Wow to Jay-Z. And I'm like, that's not what I did. I'm just saying that's their equivalent to,
Yeah.
So in this, with Mariah, it was asked the same thing. I guess they was giving bad press about her Vegas show, right?
Yeah.
And the person asked me, why do I think that the press always gives her a hard time?
Right.
And I think that the press gives her a hard time, and any artist a hard time, because they have a way that they want to see us.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. It's just like people always ask me, why you got your glasses on in the club? It's a nightclub. Mm-hmm. I understand it's a nightclub, but this is the way that you guys know me.
Yeah.
So if somebody take a picture and I'm in the club and I got my glasses off and one of my eyes is just lazy for just no reason one night, this will be all over the blogs, and they'll be like, look at JD with that one eye. His eyes, he got a lazy eye. It'll just make up anything. So that being said, you got to take this serious at all times. So no matter how you go outside, what you do, I just don't think every time that she moves, she makes the right decisions to be like, okay, I got to pay attention to all of this.
To everything that was
And I think
said.
that makes the job, with social media, it makes it super hard because you have to. Yeah. And as a woman, women, y'all can't do nothing.
We're scrutinized to the 10th power.
Yeah. So as a woman, it's completely different. Like we don't have to worry about, how our breasts look in that shirt right now. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, you just put a shirt on.
How my butt look, yeah.
I'm just telling you, like, look at Beyonce. When Beyonce was pregnant, they were saying that she wasn't pregnant. It was like,
because of how she sat down.
Because she sat down. So it's like everything that, but artists have to take this into consideration because you got to pay attention to it because it's gonna happen. So that's what I was just saying, and I felt like that's partially how I became her manager,
right?
Because I saw people talking about her, and I felt like I could safeguard her from a lot of that trash. So I think that when people hear me talk, they don't understand that I'm closer to these artists than they will ever be.
Right.
So you can't say that I'm saying anything that's like to slight the artist or it's shade. It's my caring process. It might be harsh. It might be a little too hardcore for a lot of people, but I think that that's what makes the relationship what it is.
Yeah, I think especially as a manager and just being close friends, you should be able to be blunt with your friends and
a lot of they got like 1 million people around them that won't say what I will say.
Yeah.
Each one of these artists, every one of them, they got 1 million people around them that'll just tell them like, yo, those sneakers is it.
They horrible.
And I'll come in the room and be like, why do you have these on?
Yeah.
What are you doing? You can't wear this and this. And the person over there is like, oh, JD, I don't know. I might not know what I'm talking about, but he can't wear that or she can't wear that. So I'm just that person. I've always been that person, and I feel like that's the role of a producer. Mm-hmm. Aretha Franklin once corrected me of not saying anything to her.
Really?
And I was in the studio with her, and I was a little shy because I was in the studio with Aretha Franklin, and it was like the first time that my mother was excited about me working with somebody, so I felt like I really made it. Mm-hmm. And
Aretha was the one that made you feel like I really made it.
And I was, because my mother don't really get excited about much. My mother watched Bow Wow come up in her house and it didn't mean nothing. It's like, okay, so what? I seen this little kid. So it's like that. It didn't really faze her. But I was in the studio with Aretha. She wanted pictures and she wanted, she was calling me saying stuff.
Yeah.
But I was in the studio and she was singing and she did like 4 different passes on this song and I never said anything. She hit the button and was like, yo, what are you doing here? And I flew to Detroit. She was like, what are you doing here if you're not going to tell me what to do?
Oh.
And I was actually like, you did it great. Like, what you want me to say?
Yeah.
But she probably didn't even feel like it was done right, or she didn't want me to be one of these yes guys. She wanted somebody to critique what was actually happening.
To make her better.
And that was like the day that I realized my position and what the person's position is that's on the other side of that wall.
You got to play your role with no filter.
Yeah.
I completely respect that. And now another thing that you're up to right now, you got a residency at the Win. DJing?
Yeah.
Now I heard you DJing in LA. It was turned up.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, you can actually DJ, because I've never personally heard you DJ before. What made you get into that?
Well, I actually been DJing. That's how I started. I asked for turntables when I was 12.
Right.
When I was for my 12th birthday.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted for Christmas. And
turntables.
And I got these turntables. They weren't 1200s.
Yeah.
My parents didn't know what to buy, so they bought these realistic turntables from Radio Shack. They had a belt drive. They was terrible, but they actually taught me how to DJ.
Right.
I had to do what I had to do with these little broken down turntables.
It worked though. Yeah.
They worked though. I mean, it got me to know the A's and B's about DJing. But yeah, I've been DJing since I was 12. I just was scared to DJ in front of people.
Why?
Because just like that night when I seen you, it's like that audience was just like there to take pictures and to see celebrities. Dancing was like the last thing that they really had on their mind. Even though they was at a club, they was really there for the BET experience. So when I came out there, I was like, I need everybody to the dance floor. Some people migrate slowly. You have to be built for that, because that's not something that, and you got to be able to know what your next move is if they don't react to you, or if you play a song and they don't react to you. Matter of fact, the first song that I dropped that night, I didn't feel like everybody was locked in yet, so I felt like I had to dig a little harder.
They was locked in. I remember, I think you dropped like Fetty Wap or something like that.
Yeah, I played Fetty Wap.
They was locked in because everybody around me was turned up. We were chilling, and then all of a sudden it was like, hey!
Oh, okay.
So
all right. See, but it's what I'm saying, it's hard for you to see that.
Yeah.
So I was sitting. I mean, I wasn't sitting. I was standing behind the turntables trying to read, because I'm reading to people. I don't play music just for me. I play the music for the crowd. So I'm reading to people, and I'm like, I don't know if I'm doing right. I got to keep going. I got to figure out what other record is better than this Fetty Wap record. In your mind, you have to,
Yeah.
And I was always nervous of that. I was scared of that to death. And then one day I was in Vegas working on Usher.
Yeah.
And I was like, I saw Tommy Lee DJing, and I'm like, Tommy Lee? From Motley Crue? He's a DJ? Get out of here. So I seen that they was letting people like that DJ. I'm like, come on, man, I know. And by the way, Tommy Lee's my homeboy, so I'm not gonna say nothing about his DJing, but I was saying to myself, I know I'm better than Tommy Lee, right? This is what I said in my head. So I went to one of the clubs out there, and I was like, yo, you should let me DJ one night. And it was the, what club was it? It was, I forget what hotel it was at, but the name of the club was Privé. Yeah. And they don't even have Privé no more, but they let me DJ at Privé. And that's where I started my residency at. And I was there for 2 years. I went after one night. They was like, "Yeah, we love you. Come back." And people was reacting. People was coming to the place asking for me to it was playing in Hollywood. Okay. People were coming there asking me to play my music. Yeah. So the club saw a different reaction to what they were seeing for a lot of DJs, and it worked. It was a 2-year thing, and it got me into a position where more clubs in the neighborhood heard about me DJing, and then I got my residency at the Win.
That's super dope.
So I've been in Vegas 5 years.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Do you not get tired of Vegas?
Oh no, I love it.
Really?
Yeah, because it's a challenging but educational experience every time. Okay. Like every holiday is different. Like like Cinco de Mayo is a club full of 80% Mexican, so it's like, right. It's different. What am I gonna play tonight? This is what I go in the club saying.
What do you play?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's my mental. They actually love the same music that everybody, but you just mentally you thinking something differently. And then like I do the pool parties at Encore Beach, so it's like I just did that Thursday, and it's like you don't know what to start with there either, because it's like a bunch of kids, college kids, or just young people that they clothes off and just wanting to get in the pool and have a wild time. So you can't just play just a rap record that's just like talking about shooting people and all of this, because that's not fun.
No,
so you gotta keep.
They want to see the sexy girls dancing to some Trey or something.
You gotta get something going. So it's like each time you have to get your mind prepared for what you're doing, and to me that's the best exercise for my brain.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
Because it definitely puts your brain to work, and you have to figure it out. And like I said, sometimes what I do don't work. And when it doesn't work, that's when you really got to start your lifting. You got to find some heavy weights at that particular point. Yeah, so it's a great exercise.
I was going to say that for you. You seem like the type of person that just really enjoys a challenge and is always constantly trying to challenge yourself. Because I feel like just throughout your career, you're constantly trying to just do more and do better than you have previously. Never dwelling on the past.
Yeah, it's just more. I mean, it's just people that's done more than me. You know what I mean? As long as I know that there's somebody out there that's done way more than me, then that's the challenge in itself.
Speaking of people, what did you think about the Bad Boy reunion?
I didn't actually see it because I DJ'd in San Diego the night before, and I did like the day party in San Diego that Sunday, so I didn't make it back to LA till I think when I got to LA that was going on. Somebody told me he fell. They had hit me on text like Puff just fell through the stage.
Oh my God.
Like, okay.
I was afraid for your boy.
Yeah, but I performed with him in New York at the Bad Boy 20th anniversary. So I know the show. I know exactly what they did already.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So you didn't need to watch any of it?
Yeah, I don't need to watch it. I know exactly what they did.
You didn't watch any of the BET Awards?
I didn't see none of it.
Really?
Nah.
I was going to ask you, what did you think about the Janet Jackson tribute?
I didn't see none of it. Because I was, like I said, I just got back, and then it was like, so the crazy part about BET on the West Coast is that they show it on the West Coast the same time that it's on the East Coast.
Yeah.
So it's not like it don't come on like after at 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
Like that. If you don't see it at 5 o'clock or whatever time, you're not gonna see it. That's crazy.
No.
Do they do that like that here?
Out here, I don't know, for whatever reason, it's always a delayed feed when it's a live show.
Oh yeah, in LA, every time I notice that, every time if it's on at 5 o'clock, you better watch it at that particular point in time.
He said you better watch it.
So yeah.
Well, I'm definitely excited to hear your new album, to hear your upcoming projects, to see the new app that you put out, because I told you 4 lanes is hard as hell.
Yeah, no, it's not hard. You just have to. Once again, it's just like you just have to sit there and use your mind and just be like, try to do something else at the same time and play that game and watch how much better you are.
See, I'm gonna try that because I'm always multitasking, but with that one, I always try to focus.
You can't just totally concentrate. You got to do something else, like walk around and play the game and watch. The attention from whatever else you're doing is going to take away from the attention of the game, and you're going to get a higher score. Okay. And then do you have an idea when the new game is going to come out? Where I can FaceTime? Do you have a name or anything for it? No. I mean, we're working on it every day. Okay. And as soon as that comes out, then another game is coming out called Crossed Out, which is like a takeoff of Crisscross, and the game is the background music of that game will be Jump. Really? Yeah. Oh, that's gonna be dope. Yeah. Well, I will say that when you drop it or you test it, can I get the beta version? Because I wanna play. Sure. I'm serious. Yeah. And then, do you have any idea when you're dropping the album, when you want to have it finished by? Nah, because I think, like I said, my goal is to make sure that people know that I'm out here trying to put out this much music. I'm just trying to put out, and I want people to respect music the way that I grew up respecting music. I don't feel like people take musicians and people that can make music. Not even, you don't have to be a complete musician that plays music, but just people that even just call themselves musicians. I don't think we're respected the same way anymore. So like 2 or 3 records on this album might be instrumentals, because like when I look at like people like Herbie Hancock, he won a Grammy for Rocket, a song called Rocket that didn't have no words in it. Oh wow. And radio stations was playing this record all around the world. And nobody from my generation has done that ever. Yeah. Right? So I'm sitting here saying, I want to put out an instrumental record and that I can get on the radio everywhere in the world. Like right now it seems impossible. Yeah. So I'm definitely going to try it. I think it's possible. I think what was the first record that it didn't have any bars? All it was pretty much looped, was Drake's Hold On, We're Going Home. And it basically, there was no actual like
it was pretty much the same thing looped over and over again. So if you could do that, then
yeah. But well, I'm saying, but see, that's what I'm saying. That at least it still had a hook. I'm telling you, just straight music, no words, just music, no hook, just a straight
beat.
music, just a straight music. I don't, you know, I just think people, the idea of what I'm talking about, people can't wrap their arms around it because no one has ever done it in this era. In the last 20 years, I don't know how old Rocket is, but I might be wrong with that quote, but I don't, you know, no one has done it. Let me say in the last 10 years, no physical one person has put out an instrumental record and it won a Grammy and did things that records that have vocals have done.
Well, we'll wait and see. Could that possibly be on the album?
I'm definitely trying to do that. I'm
really?
Gonna definitely try that, yes.
It's got to be crazy, though.
Yeah, it's got to be a crazy record.
Well, I'm definitely excited for all your future projects and everything you have going on. We definitely going to be watching and following you.
Please do.
If people want to follow you and just check in with you and just see what you're up to, how can they contact you?
Jermaine Dupri on everything.
On everything?
Everything. Just Jermaine Dupri on everything. Twitter, Instagram, Global 14. What else is there? Facebook.
MySpace. Black Planet,
everything wherever you can type in your whole life and give it away. I'm Jermaine Dupri on there.
That's what's up. Well, thank you again for coming in to kick it with us. We learned a lot today. I feel gamed up right now.
Yeah.
From the one and only Jermaine Dupri, it's your girl Shay Diddy, 106 KMEL.
Yeah.